Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulman Rahim here. That's the covenant breaker seven seals. Again, brothers and sisters, you have yet to claim this. Why? They're aware of it. If they're about the truth and all things they claim, why would they get this $5,000 and shut me down? It's a win-win for them. Shut me down. Right? I'm the dagger through his heart, putting right in his heart. Instructions, all this garbage he's been espousing for 42 years. And expose me as a crank or a liar and get $5,000. How can you win-win? But they don't step forward. And you have them claiming Sunday, no one's well, that's been out there years. So that's a lie right there. No one stepped forward and debate, contest what Farrakhan saying. They won't step forward. Well, what's that? And no one calls him a liar. What's that? Shows you right there. There's a lie right there. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. I got special stuff to talk about today, brothers and sisters. I don't know if you're going to be ready for it. Again, I allow the best knower. This book, there's no doubt, is got to keep, pass those who keep their duty, who bleed on the sea, care, pray, and spend what we've given them. It says, there's no doubt in this, and this is Allah speaking. And who believe in that which revealed to thee, that's the Quran, that's just a Quranic verse, revealed before thee, the Bible. You have to believe in the Bible, but okay, make that clear. Now, if you're going to tell me that the Bible's messed up, corrupt, translations, that's obvious because you have different translation. But the manuscripts are not. So if you're going to tell me that book, because you can access the manuscripts, get direct translations, so you're going to tell me that book inherently is bad, inherently corrupt, then you calling God a liar. So we start out right there. Come on, brothers and sisters. Having technical issues, brothers and sisters, so bear with me. It's worse every day. I'm not targeting you to target. Keep your hidden this information. Why? It's a threat to them.
Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
They do this openly every day, especially on Sundays, do it openly. Being part of the book different than the other. They'll say, oh, this part verse and skip the next verse. They'll talk about Elijah and Malachi, but no mention of covenant was right there. They'll talk about Abrahamic vision about 400 years in a strange land. And the next verse, return home. No, we ain't going nowhere. And they don't even mention the verse, like it's not even there. They do it all the time. That was just a couple examples. Open examples. That's what they are. And for them reserve the most grievous chastisement. And boy, you can't imagine what that is. Because you see all the chastisement in the Bible, and it says this is worse than all them. It's the most. It didn't say for them is a grievous chastisement. It says the most. Most. And we're talking about this the month of September. This the hell month. Oh, hell's gonna break loose this month. That war will resume in the Middle East this month. Where it does, all bets off. Is that pause. The little pause was going on 2 weeks now. I told him. I said, Pharaoh, Mr. Trump, it's not coincidence. His name is Trump. And they said it was the trumpets, when trumpet blasts, Gabriel's trumpet, all hell breaks loose. He's the president that's going to see America's total destruction. He's the last elected president of the country, the last elected one. They may stall somebody after they get rid of him, but he's the last elected one. And you're going to know that this year. This is the year of America's downfall. This is the year. This month will signal it. September. Hell month. So you got 30 days to prove me a liar. But how will you benefit? Because if you wait 30 years to say I'm a liar, you're on the wrong side of this whole issue, aren't you? The Quran says when you see the angels coming in the clouds, it's too late then to repent. We see the rain coming, you ain't on the ark, it's too late. I get on the ark then, you should have been helped putting the ark together. Let me say something about that too, before I go. They keep telling you what God will do, what God won't do. They don't have a goddamn idea what God can do. He can do anything you want to do. The Bible tells you that. Okay. He's all love. He can't lie. What? He created liars. Everything came in creation, he created. And it came out of him, according to the Quran. So that means the lie was in him. He can do all that stuff. You got shit in you, ain't you, boy? You shit. You got shit in you. But you ain't shit, are you? But some of you may be. Your thing is all messed up. Like right now, you can lie, you can choose. Like the liars, they can't control themselves. The liars, they can't control themselves. They have discipline. So they lie all the time. People have discipline, right? They control it, but you can use it. But the crime, all kinds of incidents, and by where they intentionally deceive the wicked. Intensely. I was saying strong delusion upon them. That's what God says. Strong. What do you think delusions are? So your mind all messed up. You got this idea, because some of you have some of these Christians say, oh, Jesus probably didn't go to the bathroom, according to them. Yeah, he was born, but he couldn't come out of a woman because, that's too nasty. He must be a cesarean or something. It's sick. Where do you think your fertilizer from? It came out of your ass. Animal's ass is shit. But that's what the food that you eat has to eat to grow. So if you want to look at that way, you look at reprocess shit. They got these crazy ideas about things. God can do anything he wants to do. He can deceive you. He does it. He essentially does it in the Bible and the Quran. If your enemy, send strong delusions on you. You're gonna get your mind back in a minute. It's master managed, brothers and sisters. I remember my children were small, right? And we sat down and we was eating some steaks, right? And said, table, I says, when y'all eat cow, I wouldn't eat no damn cow butt. Hell, I eat no cow butt. I said, what you eating? That's what you eating right now. Oh, well, they stopped eating it. Yeah. You drink water. At some point in time, that was somebody's piss. Cleaned up, recycled. In fact, it's even more than that because that's what happens right now. In your aqueducts and stuff, you go to the bathroom, they take that water, process and bring it back to you. That's what that water came out of somebody's toilet. They cleaned up. They call it cleaned up. And they said, well, if it's 99%, it's okay. That means 1% of it is shit and piss. That's why I intentionally say say things like I say, oh, he's using bad language. Yeah, but is the knowledge I'm giving you, is it mathematically correct? So if I was using nice language and deceiving you, that would be okay, right? Oh, he talks so nice. It's stupid. Yeah, let's move on, brothers and sisters. Because I got a few things I want to point out here. And you're going for a really rough ride on this one. I'm telling you right now, I'm warning you front, you're going for a rough ride on this one. Let's see here.
I gotta do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Flagler as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is, you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor,
Yes, sir.
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color. It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground and unity. So I'm only one shade lighter than you, so. And Mustafa may be 4 more shades lighter. We a family.
Yes, sir.
Let's stay a family and be a family and love each other as God would have us to love each other. We love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. Thank you. I had to do that. We love you.
One more time, brother.
Now, show me the lesson that supports what he just said. Show me the lesson. 2 things. Make a little note right here. It was hard and hard to keep all these ideas in my mind at the same time. Tough job, brother and sister. You want it? Okay. Now, find me a verse in Elijah Muhammad's books, Master Muhammad's lessons that verify what he just said. The Bible said they're 100% wicked. The lesson said 100%. Now he's saying, oh, well, they're okay because it's not about color. They're right about that, but that's how they play the game. Because Elijah Muhammad never said it was about color. He said, the lesson said the white Caucasian is devil. And he said a white man. They might have said it in short speaking, but the lesson itself, the lesson that Master Muhammad left says Caucasian white man. See, because it doesn't matter your skin tone. It depends on your nature. Wolves and sheep clothing. But he's on all this will. Okay, answer me a question here. Have you heard about Noah's Ark, right? It's about God can't do this, whatever. He do what he want to do. God tells you that. Okay. It says only the people on the ark survived. Everybody else on the planet, everybody else died. Even the babies, even the pregnant women with pregnant babies that were, not born yet. Were those kids guilty of anything? Were they against God's will? So is he a murderer? Was he a genocidal maniac? What did they have to do with it? They were just little children or just being born. Or little babies. No, because they was goddamn devils. It's their nature. See? That shows right there. There's a lot, put the line of what they're talking about there. Oh, because he's obedient. Well, were those babies against the will of Allah? Were they? I mean, wait a minute, excuse me. Did he say that Allah's word that made them in the womb? So he just made it, but he made something that he hates evil, he gonna drown. I'm gonna make it drown your ass. Is that the way it works? See, the bullshit doesn't add up over there. Hey, don't make God made you in the womb. You motherfucker doesn't do it. Okay, so here's a baby. I just finished making them, right? And then you smash them. Make a fish bait. For what? He just made them, how y'all against his will. He doing it, I just made them. See, this shit just folds over there because it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. See, had nothing to do with that. Had to do with because they were the seed of devils. That's why it was all this way. Because he says when Abraham said, no, can I find 10 in the Bible? Nah. Can I find one? Couldn't find. Said none of them. All of evil. All of evil. Said none of righteous. Not one. Talking about their seed, their nature, and that foul flesh is a devil. It had nothing to do with how you feel or whatever. If that's the case, then why you drown the children? They ain't did anything. Snatch, because that's what Christians tell you, they snatch them to heaven. See, if a thinking person, if you're thinking, but see, the problem is you're not thinking because they stopped you thinking 400 years ago. They stopped using muscle. I got weak. And so you only lift up, you're going to lift up a bottle top or something. Because this kind of thinking is too deep for you. It is. It's easy for me. But if you go out there and, man, you the Hulk, man, hell, lifting up a car tire is nothing, man. But you, man, you 100-pound weakling, man, I can't even move it. That's the problem. But you're going to be forced to use it in a minute. Like a woman, she 100 pounds, but a baby get cut in the car and she lift that damn car up. That's pretty much how you end up like that. Because when that adrenaline starts flowing, when they attack you, because this should be easy to see. That stuff he said is total bullshit. What was the other thing? Oh. Well, we get to that. Oh. You feel like people got these testimonials? Now I know because I went over this, like I said, you enter, you got to go check the enemy out, see what they're talking about. So I went over to study, so-called study groups about 5 or 6 months. And I didn't bear witness. Wasn't deceitful. I didn't bear witness with Farrakhan and all that kind of stuff, right? But that's why they kept looking at me. I was saying, yeah, hurrah, hurrah. And he's there, study groups. He'd come in like every now and then on like week, I guess on a Sunday, right? And he might say something on the video or something, right? But when they were talking about how they was helped by Farrakhan, and you better ask them, what was the nature of help? They talking about Scientology. I know because I was there. And that's what they talking about. The Scientology game, because now their mind's clean. Now they got engrams look straight and all this kind of stuff. And after they used to have like they had they do my ass out, right? Because if you was going there, right, then they gave the number. It's part of this telephone thing, right? Telephone network. They have a network, and then everybody get in, and then they be talking. And their main subject was always L. Ron Hubbard. Scientology. I'm saying, and I chime in. I say, well, where's Elijah? They mute me right away. Mute me right away. Now tell them, take my word for it, go over and check. They're talking about what Scientology did for them, not what Elijah Muhammad did for them, what L. Ron Hubbard did for them. That they're talking about. And that's what he's offering, because they say, oh, that's supposed to heal. Wait a minute, why did you, okay, Elijah Muhammad came, Master Muhammad came, and they gave you what you need to get yourself together. So what you had to go get L. Ron Hubbard for? What do you need? Oh, to clear your mind up? Oh, you mean the lesson, everything didn't do that? No, because you're not teaching that. Now tell them the lying. That's what they talk about L. Ron Hubbard. If you go talk to those people, that's all you, they talk more about, they don't talk about Elijah. In fact, they don't want to hear about Elijah. They change the stuff real quick. And that's what's happening right here. See? They're trying to get the people that was with Elijah, they're trying to get them to start feeding on this shit. Right? And this Scientology. He says, offer here's. See, I'm spraying, essence of Elijah on it, roses and petals. So see the roses, smell the roses and stuff, and that's what you think. But when you get hold to it, you find you got a handful of shit. Not only that, but it's also intel, because the devil's there. His antler helped him get an idea. Because if you want to get anywhere in his organization, and tell him a line, you got to do auditing. You got to do it. And you got to be sincere, or they won't accept you. You got to be sincere. It means you got to tell all your secrets. Right? And somebody write that down. Now that's supposed to be private, protected, and you believe that? And then Farrakhan said, what did that's just had to say? And they're not going to tell them? So it's got someone by the you know what? Because they got all this information on them. Because you did this, you did that. This happened to you. We expose your ass. Because you got to tell them, oh man, well, now they're keeping me, I was doing some things and, you ain't going to go into it. It's your imagination. You got to say all that. You got to be sincere. See? And plus, he makes sure all the money that comes in is under his name. So, and he points out to you just enough. So you mess up, yeah, that's your ass. What happened to Brother Collard? You know what his crime was? He was trying to speak to Elijah Muhammad's message. That was his crime. And they killed him for it. They tried to anyway, but they killed him. Because they said they had brain aneurysm. That brother was young and vibrant. Goddamn brain aneurysm. They're trying to poison me right now. I'm told I'm protected. I got my own protection with some. But anyway, that's another story. See? Tell me I'm lying. If I'm lying, sue me. Show me liable. I'll give you $5,000, you put him lying here. That's what he does. Stinking dog Farrakhan spray Elijah's name on his lying shit. Elijah had nothing to do with this crap. Nothing. I was there. I witnessed. When they was bad mouthing the messenger, when they took the money, all the nation's money Elijah Muhammad left to the nation, right? Took it all, pocketed, and left the nation with nothing. He's a multimillionaire. Yes, he has power after that. He doesn't get that money back. Ishmael's mother, same thing. She took it and ran to Mexico. She got her piece. was hiding out in Mexico. Tell him I'm lying. Come get your $5,000. So they bear witness to Scientology, not Elijah Muhammad. That's what hailed them, saved them. Not they don't teach the lessons. They show the lessons. They don't teach Elijah Muhammad's teachers. I'm sure we got evidence. But the point is, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm putting information out there for those people that's looking for the truth that you're blocking. That's one, but you out there with all that bullshit. No, I hope you don't understand this. I hope you don't like it. Hope every time I say fuck, you get upset. See, he's fucking saying fuck over there. I hope that bothers you. You have no idea what's about to happen to you. But you will find out. See here? What they doing? Throwing Elijah's name on all that shit. Scientology had nothing to do with any of this crap. Nothing. Okay, let me get to my main point, but brother and sister, I'm trying to hang this together. Some things, it's a time base I can't say before a certain time. I'm kind of concerned about even saying what I'm going to say now. Okay, very careful. Nation be born in a day. Babylon's sudden destruction in one day too. Are they connected? Yeah. Why is both of them sudden? Why sudden? Why are both of them so sudden? See? Oh, but they said the momentous of heaven and earth, but coming above a sudden. And I give you, I might go into it again today. Depends on my timing. I was telling you about those fat waves. They're talking about energy wave that returns to Earth. See, they don't know any of this. They have to understand how the universe works. And you gotta get some information, any of them, because they don't know. And that's why they don't even know why we went through this process. Because according to Farrakhan, we went through, we was weak. God punished us because we're wicked, we're evil. So why does he reward you for being punished? Why are we going to get a reward after 40 years of punishment? A great reward, the greatest one, 40 years of punishment. See, he can't answer that kind of stuff. That's why he don't even tell you about the reward. What's the reward for all of this? Return home to the best part of the planet Earth. He don't tell you about that. Because if he does, they say, well, how can he tell you you're getting a reward for being wicked, evil, punished? Because that's his story. That's why we're in a condition. So he don't tell you that part, leaving part of the book, this being the other. He don't tell you that part. They don't mention it all. In fact, they actually they do worse than not mention it. They denounce it. You ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. They calling God a goddamn liar right there. Because that's a covenant. That is the first part is a vision, what's going to happen. The second part is a contract. that God says, that's what covenant is, a contract. That's his word. That's what's going to happen after 40 years. You're going home to, and they tell you exactly where it is, so there's no confusion about it. It says the Arabia between Euphrates and they don't mention it all, period. And like I said, and what they do is say, you ain't going nowhere. We stand right here. So they call God a liar. That's his word. That we're leaving here and going home. And he said, we ain't going no God anywhere. So you're going to tell me he's talking to God? What God are you talking to? So, brothers and sisters, I got one for you today. So suddenly, it says, remember I told you, so it's going to come to you sudden, because if you mention Earth, you have to understand physics, understand that Earth has to be a center universe for that verse to be true. Energy goes into Earth, because we can't use it in a form that comes right from, right? So it has to be converted, it gets into Earth, and Earth converts to a form we can use it, Earth gets energized, right? So it can produce better whatever, and the atmosphere gets energized. So then we have more energy. Also, we're more energized. I told you it's three ways already. The first was energized back in the 1860s. We broke out chains. Second one, right? the, I try to put in form of music, right? More inspired, right? In the 20s, jazz, and then Motown 50 years later. Why is that coincidence? That shows how powerful we are because we actually control the atmosphere. I mean, music is controlled by our emotions, but weather is also currents in the atmosphere. They're controlled by emotions too, but you just don't know it. When you find out, whoa, during tribulation, because you will have weapons, but weather would be one of your main weapons. Weather would be one of your main weapons once you unite and you have common thought. Because you can't be saying, well, I want rain, another person say, I want dry weather, then you're nullifying each other. But no, you want rain, everybody wants rain. God damn, you got a storm that you can't imagine. As long as our minds are all different ways, so therefore, weather's all different kind of ways, and some nullifying others. But we all want a tornado, all think a tornado, you can have a goddamn tornado. Once you get high, that's why you got to get high. All think on the same plane. I told you I got something for you today, brothers and sisters. Once you unite, it's all over for them. That's why they got to stop you. Because you're affecting right now, that music is a big sign. You're affecting the whole emotions of the whole planet with your music, not African music over there, our music. And that's affecting music affects your emotions, don't it? You affect the emotions of the entire planet. In China, in every place, with your music. Even though they tamper with it, it's still your music. And anybody copy it, otherwise, ain't no other music on the planet that anybody's interested in. And it's not yours. What music dominates the planet? You got a lot of copycats, it's still our music. That means you influence the emotions of the whole goddamn planet. Don't you understand that? But once you unify, ooh, and our emotions are directly opposed to the devil's emotion. That means the more our emotions go, the more it bogs them. That's why Trump is going crazy. That's no story altogether. These devils getting riled up now. Remember they used to call it devil music? Because our emotions are opposed to theirs. And theirs opposed to ours. We was under their emotions for 400 years. You see what that was all about? Getting pissed in our mouths, beat, rape. We was under their emotions. But now our emotions are asserting itself. And it's getting stronger and stronger. What does that mean? What happens when it's focused and unified? So these things happen suddenly. So remember I said this wave. So now we have 3 waves, this is the 4th, and we're in the middle of the 4th wave now. But we haven't experienced it yet because it said suddenly. Motown came suddenly. Those riots came suddenly. Red Summer, suddenly, back in the 20s. So all that, suddenly, all of a sudden things changed. In our favor. In our favor. Say it again. In our favor. Against the devils. And they did everything they could to try to suppress it. So it was about suppressing it. Not about freeing us. Better go read it again. So-called red sons are oppressing us because we're getting too uppity. All this police force and all that kind of, that's what you think they taking and rallying the military and everything else. And if you think about it, it's all against you. Or you got to get these cities under control. Because they're losing control of you. And there's no something about to happen. And they're ready for you. They say they're ready. They're preparing for the next phase. What's going to happen anytime now? This week, this month, September. So let's go into a little more deeper, brother and sister. A little deeper, a little more deeper. Now I'll tell you about 6,000 years. I just want you to understand the process. The energy got less and less and less, so we didn't have enough energy to control things anymore. We have no energy to control the planet anymore. So if we Lamborghinis, then we produce a Volkswagen Beetle that didn't require much energy. That's it. But they're weak, but it's still they can still rule. And so we know if that was 6,000 years ago that Yaku started the process, and we was at the weakest point in 1860, that means that we're around here at the bottom down here. That means we got 6,000 years before we get back out of this again. So you know about that part. If that's the case, then we down at the bottom. We was at the bottom when 1860. We was the worst. We was at the worst state of all. Totally wiped out. No name, everything. Was having hope and nothing. Everybody's against us. So that means the problem is we don't want Adam to be controlling for the next 6,000 years. We don't want to be about him, and that's the problem. But we have we had to solve that problem, right? That's why we got Master Muhammad, which is half and half, but he's loyal to us, right? Rule next 6,000 years, then to return back. A lot of them said, when return back to Travis Shabazz. Tell me about that one. Tell me that he didn't say that. Let's move on. I just want you to understand the basics. Now watch this. Watch this, brothers and sisters. Then you ask yourself some questions.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Wadafuddin and I have had disagreement. But his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, believe. I believe.
Now I'm going to play all that, brothers and sisters, I did all the day. Now understand, Wallace, open enemy into his death. Open death enemy to a Master Elijah Muhammad. Total. He said it. He didn't believe Master Muhammad was a God, and both was tricksters. Open enemy. He destroyed everything his father did. Open enemy. Even when his father was alive, he used to go out and put stuff in charge defender, call his father a liar and everything else. He officially, when Elijah Muhammad departed, he was officially banned from the nation. He even says, what guy in video said, he couldn't even be around his family. His father was so bad. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? At this point, right, he's open and hate his father openly. His whole organization was totally against it. So Farrakhan called my friend, why are you identifying him? And why he loves America so much? Why he wants, what he said about America? Oh, he's got all these nice things. That's not what scripture say. If you read the scripture, I'm going to show you some scriptures. It's all over the place. God wants to destroy America. It's totally destroyed. And he says, God, don't think I come with peace. I come with a sword. And he says he was upset because he said he was what's the word he used? He was in not grief, but anyway, he just couldn't wait to do it. He said it was in a state of not grief, but I can't remember the word he used. Distress. How distressed I am until it's accomplished. That's how bad he wants to destroy America. He can't wait to do it. But not Farrakhan. But he talks to the God, right? I can't wait to do it. It's my pleasure to destroy America. And why? Well, wait a minute. He's pretty much saying, fuck our ancestors, because they did all this stuff to us 40 years. I mean, worse anybody. And let's get along with them. See, he's, you know, my father was light-skinned Jamaican, but he got double hair. I ain't saying that doesn't matter which kind of hair you got, but for him it does. Because it's not your skin color, it's not your hair, it's your nature. If your father's a devil, then I don't care if you could be black and new woolly hair as you want to, and you're still a devil. Period. If your father's original, you can be white as snow, just like Master Muhammad, and straight hair, and you're still original. That's the seed. It ain't no, you put an orange seed in the ground, and you can live, you can do everything you want, put chemicals and everything on it. You can piss on it, you can do everything you want to do to it. It's not going to come up an apple seed. It's like you can't change the nature of it. Right? Messed up orange, might be messed up orange seed, might be messed up orange tree. Right? That, they grow on trees, right? Orange grow on trees, I guess it's trees, right? When you say apple, we know apple grows on trees, right? So it's going to be apple. It might be a bad apple, a bitter apple, but it's going to be an apple. Not going to be an orange, not going to be a pear. Seed. And he misses follows the devil. He's got a stupid ass son right next to him. Both are millionaires. How do you become millionaires? They haven't been saying anything. You know what I'm saying? But they always, that's totally contradiction to everything that God says. He's going to judge this nation. Oh, he don't want to see America destroyed. Why? Because he's one of them. Destruction of America means his destruction too. Let's play on, bros. Let's play this next one here.
We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. But I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't she go that way? If the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent, you stay in your churches and you preach to the choir. We don't like the things about our nation.
He said the problem is they keep quiet. Oh, didn't he just say not long ago, God told him to be quiet? You see this bullshit here? He condemned him being quiet, and now he said, God told me to be quiet. See, people that buy that shit, you got to be shit that want that shit. Because no reasonable person going to buy that shit he's taking. Because if your brain works, and you're an original person, if you're a devil, no, you're going to buy it. If you're a demon, you're going to buy it because this whole thing is about shit. So that's just more shit. If shit's your currency, give me as much shit as you can give me. And that's shit is the currency of this. You see what's happening right now? You think shit's not the currency? Look what's going on in Gaza. And look what's over here. They talk all this crap and everything else. Yeah, man, like everybody's behind it and holding meat and everything else. Would you tell Jews to honor Hitler? They wouldn't dare do that, right? But why they tell us to honor Jefferson and Washington, which did far worse to us for longer periods of time. You see, but we're supposed to honor them. Oh shit. So shit is the currency. So that's what Farrakhan selling, everybody's buying it. Because you get in those positions, if you're a Negro, but if you get in those positions, you gotta be in those positions because you gotta be selling shit. You never get to tell the truth. You wouldn't even get in the organization. You wouldn't get the job. I told you I used to be I'm doing this now, but if I needed money, I'd go back and do it. If I had my own business, a contractor, own IT business, doing system analysis and that kind of stuff, programming and coding, all that kind of stuff, right? We named like Raheem, what's the problem? Because even when I was an employee, it wasn't working. And I wouldn't play the political game. And I talk, that's how I'm talking. I mean, I don't go out and just start preaching. I remember one time somebody going to tell me, they got in a conversation, oh man, Washington, I said, what the hell are you talking about? Everybody, white people from around. What do you mean Washington was a rapist? Oh, man, you gonna talk Washington like that? Man, he was a rapist, murder. You're gonna see, because I'm supposed to be going on the program. That's it, watching. Because when you see him going to program, it's a problem. Next thing I know, man, you know, I'm censored or isolated, or if I have to walk out the door. That's why I became a contract, start my own business. You know, and the only reason I made money because they needed me, because these devils, they can't write code. They're not that good. That's why I bring us Indians in. They're not good at it. They found that black people was the best. I'm not going that whole situation. They had a whole program. I went to the programs. I'm making it up. Right? And that's why they closed the door. But the Indians in, since you were in jail, because they were your best at it. And I shouldn't have got into that because the whole story here, right? And I went to the program myself. And so I had a reputation for being a sharpshooter. I mean, I go in and I save all kinds of money. I mean, I work in a private, they broke AT&T up. I sent them millions of dollars. I mean, all I got is GED. They had master's degrees and everything up there. They didn't see this. I went and said, man, you can do this, boom. That's not a problem for them. Instead of millions, multi-millions of dollars. And they had a reputation. So they needed, they called me in. But once I finished, they want me out of there. They want me to stick around. But if they had a problem, they called me. I made a lot of money. Real contract, my own business. They still call me now. Especially when COVID came out, because they had old systems. Nobody knew work. I knew those old COBOL systems. I knew them. Man, we need somebody to reprogram for this COVID thing, right? No, I'm doing this right now. That's a lot of money. I mean, right now, I get. Anyway, the bottom line is, they're good at it. And they made a lot of money because we're back to this. You see, if you go over there with them folks, man, you're so Farrakhan, right? He wants to save America, all this stuff. That's not what scriptures say. Not what lessons say. Let's say you take them off the planet. Okay? And that's L. Ron Hubbard there. And they put him right side. In fact, they actually elevated him above Elijah. They don't say it in public, but behind the scenes, that's all they talk about is L. Ron Hubbard. And Grams and all that shit in Scientology. I mean, they tell me they be bearing witness. That's to be a witness to that he saved them in Scientology, which symbolizes the cross. It wasn't Elijah Muhammad's teachings say them. We don't teach Elijah Muhammad's teachings. Don't teach it. They just use a cover to get you to attract people, because his target is the Nation of Islam. There's no straw together. Take my word for it, go over there, and those in there know it's the truth. And but I want you to stick over there. We ain't trying to pull you out of there. You know there's confusion going there right now. There's an insurrection going there right now. Farrakhan, they're going, well, this is September? Oh, yeah. In a few more days, he's going to be cast out. Because this war is going to resume in a few more days. And in October is when they're going to attack us. I'm putting it out there. Details. Not watch the weather. They're not with Elijah. They were L. Ron Hubbard. That's who they with. But they can't say it. Use Elijah Muhammad's name because they don't support Elijah Muhammad. They say, yeah, he just. But look at it. Go read his teachings. I just showed you what Farrakhan just said. He wants that. That's not Elijah Muhammad's teaching at all. And the other guy talking about, hey man, they about brothers. Elijah Muhammad said they ain't our brothers. They devils. Every one of them. He wouldn't let them in his temple. Farrakhan got them coming in. They went FYI uniform, MHC, and everything else. That's the cover. This is their real man right here. That's the one they idolize. Okay, surprise. It's going to be a surprise, brothers and sisters. Get back to what mentions in heaven and earth, right? Comes all of a sudden. What comes all of a sudden? The energizing. What does come to energizing? What's energizing mean? So I tell people they don't pay attention, they don't study, they don't. That's up to them. I mean, look, all I do is give you the ladder, bro. So you got to climb it. I'm not gonna pull you up on a ladder. Nobody's gonna push you up on a ladder. You got to climb it, and you get the angel, and that's the ladder. That's the mind level mentality you got to be successful in the hereafter. I just give you the ladder. So you can. So if you can't climb that ladder, then you stuck here. That's the only way to get to the hereafter. If you come any other kind of way, man, you're gonna be about bowl of shit. Everlasting shame and appallment. Oh, I got two of them here. Remember I said, see here right here? This is the part they don't read, Malachi. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. He'll go forth, grow up as cows and stalls. Now, what are they talking about? The Son of Righteousness, right there, talking about that's the covenant. Healing his wings. Now, this is awesome what you're about to hear now. Every time you get energy level, man, it increases our energy level. But the more energy you have, the better healing process you have. That's what it's telling you here. Because now you're going to be more energized. It come all of a sudden. Everybody's be energized. Say, for instance, you're at the point, okay, that's what I forgot to put in there. Okay, let me just talk it through. If you go and get a video of like the Serengeti or any of those deserts, and like somebody rain like every 60 days or 9 days or whatever, or a year or whatever, they got different cycles, right? And I forgot to put it, I just thought about it. And maybe I do redo this redux. But say it go 90 days or whatever, right? So the water runs out. And then the animals start dying, can't get water. You see them start flowing down, right? And then the buzzards start coming in because they start watching because they know the animals start dying because they don't have any water. And no food because the water, right? The plants are dying because everybody's eating the plants up. So it's no food and water, so it's a famine. And everybody, all the plants are dying and whatever food is dead or dying. And there's no water. And then you see the animals, right? And the weaker animals, right? They're barely walking, then they fall over. Then the buzzards come in. They still may be alive, but they can't move. It's really bad, right? Because it hadn't rained like 60 days or 9 days or whatever. I can't remember the pattern. And all of a sudden the rain comes. And then you might have an animal that's just near death. Buzz ain't got to him yet. All of a sudden, you start moving. See, that's what he needed. Start moving. It was at a point of death. All of a sudden now, start moving. And if Buzz don't get to him before he get to, he gets a little water every day. Next thing you know, if you look at a couple days later, man, he's doing fine. Same pattern. Because we've been living off the last 50 years off the energy we got 50 years ago. And we almost used it all up. And the more people on the planet, remember you only get a certain amount of energy. So it's divided by how many people on the planet. That's how much everyone gets. So the more people there is, the faster it's used up. So things start getting really bad, tight. You see threats coming. You see Trump and everything. Trump, threats and everything, building. And then suddenly the rain comes, bam! The people at the edge of death, healing his wings. Somebody had, what do they call it, inoperable cancer or whatever, all of a sudden healing starts. Because now the body's got more energy, the healing. You understand? That's why I kept telling him, I said, Farrakhan ain't gonna die. He ain't gonna die before that happens. They were saying years ago, oh, he gonna, when I was over there, what, 10 years ago, I guess so. No, I told him, I said, he ain't. Because if it happened there tomorrow, he'd be revitalized too. And to what degree, I don't know. But he'd definitely be conscious. Yeah. You're going to see him in the next few days, you can't believe, because this is all mathematics. That's what's telling you. Everybody's going to be revitalized. But what does that mean? What does that mean? Everybody's going to be more energized. And so a lot of disease and stuff you have is, of course, low energy. So now if your energy increases, that means you got a stronger immune system to fight off. Somebody's barely conscious might just come out, right? Look at a miracle. All of a sudden, we haven't experienced it yet. What we experience right now is the drought. I know I'm feeling it now. I feel 76. I'm tired of feeling 76, I tell you that. That's your feeling. The drought. It's getting worse. It's taking people out. People can't. The weaker ones are dying. They can't make it. But if you make it, right, you'd be revitalized to what degree, I don't know. Depends on the person. Maybe be a life-saving. Maybe somebody that would have revitalized enough to make it to the next 50 years. And that'd be enough to revive them back to their youth. It's all mathematics, brothers and sisters. So you see stuff like that. That's a strong delusion. Because this happens, everybody revives, and all of a sudden see Farrakhan jump out get about his wheelchair and walk around. What you think is going to have effect on have on them? People are believing that bullshit. Because they said during the tribulation, when the demon go to war, he's going to be with them. He can't be with them if he's staying right now, but they'll be pushing around what they're there for. Be with them. That's what they're telling you here. You're healing his wings. See? It's going to be for the devils too. That's why it says in hell, it says they be very energetic. It says if they get burnt, the skin heal right away. That means they get a lot of energy, but why would you want that if the only thing there is to eat is shit? That means you can eat shit and live off of it. That's what hell is. Read it again. Hell has been a lot of energy, be very healthy. You don't want to be healthy in hell. That means you can live a long time eating shit, drinking piss, because your body is strong enough to deal with it. Read it again, that's what the Quran says. See, your thinking is all messed up. So you're going to see things look like miracles. And the way I'm reading this, understand, right? Farrakhan be revitalized. To what degree? Enough to be to make a difference. I said he's not going to die before the tribulation. I've been telling that for years. So now I think I can reveal this. It's something I can't say yet, right? No, the devil listening too. But he's going to be revitalized too. But the point is, remember, the energy is like turning on the pot. We turn on fire on the pot. It get hotter. Temperatures go up. It's bad for them because they low structure. And so now it's more all the nation energized. And they can't control them anymore. And now collision, which they can't stand. Because if you got a collision between a golf ball and an egg, how you think that's going to work? How you think that's going to work? So our nation energized. That was even they lowered they're one of the lowest state in discipline anyway. You know what I'm saying, brothers and sisters? You're gonna see it. I'm saying you're gonna start seeing it this month. As soon as that energy wave hits, as soon as you feel it, it hits already. Said, but come you of a sudden. So you wake up one morning, or maybe 5 minutes from now, whatever, and all of a sudden you're gonna start feeling better. Black folks will start all of a sudden, remember, because all those other ones, all of a sudden, black folks start coming together for so-called civil rights. Well, then some came for civil rights, some came for Elijah, right? You know, separation. But it happened suddenly, out of nowhere. He said it was a spark, Rosa Parks, a little spark. You see all the stuff that's going on right now? So let me read a couple of things, brother, so I'm going to go. See? That's what it's talking about. I'm trying to get you to understand what you can really see. Because now the temperature's going, has right now, temperature's going to turn up. And the weakest nation is going to be the one crushed first. Crushed. So, see, if I, see, well, anyway, let me just move on, brothers and sisters. Oh, I was sending you the prophet, Elijah the prophet, right? Well, you got to be in the old books, right? But soon you say, hey, ain't no prophet like Prophet Muhammad. Well, it tells you got to believe in this book too. And it says, no, he's a prophet. That's sure they don't know what the hell they're talking about. See what I'm saying? Well, so let me check something real quick. See, it's bullshit all over the place, but how do you get away with this stuff? He tells you clearly you got to believe in this book too. It's right there. It says Elijah the prophet. That's right in the Bible. It said no prophet has Prophet Muhammad. It doesn't say that. It says he's still the prophets. What does that mean? They don't say the last one, but they interpret that way. But they can't interpret that way because it says Elijah. It don't say he's the last prophet. Well, it said here clearly the end of the prophets. It does say that right there. Clearly he's the end of the prophets. It don't say he's still, it said the end. No prophet after him. The messenger of covenant don't say he's a prophet. The messenger of covenant will come after him. He prepared a way for a messenger of covenant. He's the Lord. There's no straw together. It says, "Lie return hearts of children to the father, hearts." That's not Farrakhan. They tell you, oh, he's trying to turn your heart back here to America. You got to start loving America. Devils ain't devils no more. We ain't going back over there. This is clear stuff. So you ain't got to go and using a calculator. So why people? Because he's a magnet. They can't resist him. The weak people, weak-minded, right? Demons can't resist him, and that's good. That's why we want him. That's why he's put up there. How do you think we're going? How do you think? It says, "Lo, they're separated." How do you think the chaff is separated from the wheat? You got something that attracts the chaff away from the wheat, like a centrifuge. You got something that will attract the demons and the weak and the devils. Oh, to separate. How you going to separate one from the other? Like centrifuge is putting up centrifugal force. That's why I call it centrifuge, to separate the heavy elements from the low elements. And uranium is heavier. So you put something that will attract, and he attracts them. So we don't want to stop that. We don't want to stop that. We keep tracking them. That's how we said they will be separated. How do you think that, what do you think the process of separation is? You look at this. You have chosen your own ways, and their soul delight in their abominations. They're talking to the devils here. I will also choose their delusions. Oh, God can't deceive people. He can't delude people. That's what God said. He's going to delude them. He's going to do it. That deception, deceit, deceiving them, and will bring their fears upon them, because they call none, and I called, none did answer. When I spoke, not hear, but they did evil before my eyes and chose that which I delighted not. And my devils also talking about, right, those with Farrakhan. Okay? I called, but you know, because he ain't called the devils. See what it says, and not, because when I called, none did answer. Because y'all were, that's what with Farrakhan, and they blocking the ones that will be seeking Son of Man or seeking the message of the covenant. We have nappy hair and wool and dark skin. That's who Son of Man is, and nappy hair and dark skin. But Master Muhammad doesn't have neither for this Farrakhan. Another confusion. We're the next one, brothers and sisters. Look at this. No, let's move on next. Let me make a note here. So here, suddenly, before she travailed, she brought forth. Before her pain came, she was delivered of a man child. Who hath heard such a thing? Who hath heard such a thing? Shall earth be made to bring forth one day? Shall a nation be born at once? It's energizing, because now we've got enough energy to finally come together as a nation. We don't have it right now. And right now we're in a famine, right? Because, like I said, we almost used up all the energy from the last 50 years ago. So actually, things are worse. We have less energy, more divided. But we still can't, we're still upset because all this, we took 400 years of shit and we're tired, we're about to blow. So two things happen at once, right? But once you get energizing, now we've got enough energy to come together, just like black folks start becoming more, every 50 years, black becomes more united. Remember, first they was niggers. And then 50 years later, they color people. Went from blues to jazz. Now we jazzy. First it was blue. Oh man, we're the blues. Coming out of so-called slavery. Then 50 years later, now we got jazzy. Now we color people. Then 50 years later after that, right now, I'm black and I'm proud. See? We ain't color people no more, we're black now. And now we're 50 years from that. What's about to happen now? All those things happen suddenly. There's a pattern you can go and check. And the music follow. And whose music comes from us? Then we dominate the atmosphere. I mean, that's clear. The music is the atmosphere and we're dominating it. We just united. Once you start thinking on the same wavelength, damn. And the weather, right? That's the atmosphere. But the atmosphere is also the weather. The reason why weather's all crazy right now because we all just uniting everything else. It says when you get in hereafter, we control. It tells you right there, we will control the weather. It says any nation that goes against us, we'll stop them getting rain and stuff. How do you think we're gonna do that? With a pill? I mean, it's telling you right there, we control the weather. So when we get home, we can control everything, right? Any nation that doesn't serve us, right, we'll stop them from getting rain and carrying on. How are we going to do that? It's telling we control the weather. It's telling the lesson that we control the weather. I'm going to talk about that a little bit too. Yeah, the way he said it, boy, he talked about the sisters. He said, the sisters, boy, he said, well, I'm the crazy man, he boys. Lost it altogether. Anyway, and shall the earth be made to bring forth there, or shall a nation be born at once? But as soon as Zion traveled, she brought for her child. Shall I bring birth and not cause to bring forth? See what I'm saying? That's talking about right now. We're going this period right now where things are looking kind of bad because energy levels dropped again because we used up all the energy from the last 50 years. But now we got to get another burst, right? It's like a I don't want to use this analogy, right? Like a dope addict, right, man? You know, his fix to run off, oh man, oh. And then he get that buzz, hey man, hey, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's enough energy to unite now. They never since united before. No one planet has since united. Risen nation united. See the great army, like they say in the scripture. So the womb will not be shut. It's going to come. Hope you understand it, brothers and sisters. That's about to happen. Any day now. This happened this month. This month. So you got 30 days to find I'm a liar or not. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm not a liar. Maybe I'm just stupid. Just talking out of my ass like Farrakhan does. Anyway, we're going to find out this month, won't we? Rejoice, ye Jerusalem, be glad with her. For all ye that love her, rejoice for joy with her. For all ye that mourn for her, that ye may suck and be sad for the breast of her consolations, that ye may milk out and be lighted with the abundance of her glory. For thus saith Lord, behold, I will extend the peace of her like a river, and glory of the Gentiles like a flowing stream. Then shall she suck. You shall be born upon her side and be down upon her knees, and one whom his mother comes, so I will comfort you. That means that we get home. Paradise. We're going to forget all this shit we went through. Now we're getting reward. According to Farrakhan, no, man, you're wicked. You're wicked, you know. You're evil, you're wicked. No, you don't get reward for being wicked. Now we suffered, we submitted. Now we were comforted over peace. So let's move on, brothers and sisters. That's getting you a little taste of paradise there. Okay, and the Lord shall be known towards his servants, his indignation towards his enemies. Remember? For behold, the Lord will come like fire, with his chariots like a whirlwind, to image anger with fury, his rebuke with flames of fire. That means taking vengeance on what they did to us. Now, Farrakhan, man, we burned America. Because he's one of them. It's his people that did to us. It follows the devil. He don't want to see America go down because he go down with it. Because he's not see Abraham. That's why he hate the covenant. That's why I don't mention it. Because he know it doesn't apply to him. If it applied to him, he would be telling you about it. Think about it. If he doesn't apply to him, why would he want to tell you? Because he don't want that. Because us going home is his destruction. He can't go because he ain't to see Abraham. Eden is their paradise. You say what? See, that's another thing. I'm going to say it quickly. They say, oh, well, Edom is in the east. Edom is not in the east. Read it again. It said Edom. They said he was put in Edom. He said he's put in the west, in the eastern part of Eden. Adam was placed in the eastern part of Eden. That don't mean we didn't use Eden. Said eastern part, which was the east coast, and that's where Adam, Britain. That's where he settled the colonies at, on the east coast of America. Eden is America. That's where a tree was bought. That's where all the hell took place, right here. Said, don't mess that tree. The tree was transported. We the tree. Said, don't mess that tree. He said both in the Quran and the Bible. They did anyway. They said, when you do, you will die. If you ever around that tree, you're going to die. They F around with some. There you do it, right? They're going to tax in a minute. By fire, so well, did I make any notes here? Maybe I did. Maybe I'm moving on because I got. Well, I did make notes. Where they are? Okay, I'm not gonna read all that, bro. Since like I said, I'm gonna close out the man. Destruction of Babylon. See here. Now I know you think it's a coincidence, but it said when that trumpet blows, why do you think they use that name trumpet? because he's the last elected president. If you see everything he's doing, he's raising the temperature between devils and us. He's raising the temperature. Okay? And one of the reasons why I do it because they're in trouble. See, when everything's going well, you be talking about terrorists and taking stuff back, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you got everything you want. But when things are bad, that's when you start, well, we want to kick ass, we'll stop this, right? And I want to stop talking about slavery. Slavery wasn't so bad, and we got to stop the DUI and stuff is so obvious. They build all these detention centers. They don't need them anymore. It's what they build them for. Detention center. If you take time to get your head out of NBA ass and stop watching NFL, right? You know the detention was the detention centers was there. So when they captured him, they had a day in court. They were holding it. They had a day in court to be deported or whatever. But Trump got around that. They can just deport your ass once they catch you. They don't need detention centers anymore. So why are they still building them? They're building a big one in Texas. They're building two. They already built one. I know they was building one in Florida, but they had to build a second one. I'm not sure the first one's finished yet. Why are they building? Because it's for you. All this is a trial run for you. They already get everything set. All this gathered. Then they're going to take another thing they're doing. The police, they take totally against the Constitution. They don't care about the Constitution because they after you. And all of them, you know, Supreme Court, all of them, they're on board. They ain't going to stop it because they're all on board. They're on the same wavelength, right? Constitution said they cannot use American troops against American citizens on American soil. Now you can do it. What American citizens you think you going? These not immigrants now, so why they got to do that? And then you got to make an excuse, right? Oh, because they got crime. That's just a bullshit. That's just an excuse so they can close in on you, moving on cities without you notice what's going on. Oh, we're doing it because of crime, and we using nationalize the military, which is against Constitution. They already closed in on you. So now you got excuse closing on the cities, but we're doing it because of crime. What cities they coming after? And they said we got to get rid of them. What he said? You understand it? So we got to get rid of what do you call those neighborhoods when now you say ghettos. I've got that word they use. He said, well, in Clark, we got to just get rid of them. That's where you live. Except the Negro busts out there in the suburbs because those are demons. They want to be with Master. They're closing on you. They used to, and was so blind we can't see what's going on. They got an excuse to close on the cities. Closing on the cities. They get an excuse because all it's totally illegal. But I said, no, it's crime we're doing. So in other words, so you don't know. They're closing on you. Get rid of you. Detention centers don't need them anymore. Why build them? They can take American citizens in prison, except now El Salvador and others. Who's in the prisons? Who do you think they're going to do that to? That's another way to get rid of your ass. And then they're trying to get public opinion, sort that out right. Because who's supporting that war in Gaza? They are. False Israel, they say, yeah, no, they taking the blame, but who's giving the weapons to do it? If they give the weapons, they couldn't do it. And they ain't trying to stop it. So getting that already. So when they do it to you, and what the media's doing, the media's speaking against it? No. All this stuff, because they say when you flee, what's the nature of fleeing? What's the nature of you fleeing? You can't go in the house to get your baby. You can't go in the house to do anything. You can't take time to text. You got to run immediately. Why? Because it's already set up. Already set up. So how did you get set up? It's set because you wasn't paying attention. He said they come and get you shrewdly. That's what it says, flee. And when you flee, what? We see Jerusalem surrounded by armies. But who controls Jerusalem? They said their destruction is not. That means false Israel, they control Jerusalem. I mean, their destruction, they don't read it, oh, Jesus will come and save them. No, it says theirs. That means when their destruction falls, because remember, the whole purpose of them is proving that they still see it, and not you. See, they're over there. Their destruction, that means that's going to seal the deal. Now you can realize it is you. And that means you got a common vision. Common vision will bring people together. So now you got that's what causes us to come together. And that's why when they see that, that's when they attack you. That's when they say you got to flee, because they say when you see it, they get ready to attack you because they realize Pharisees is going down. They put it up there to keep you confused. They know that's not working anymore. So they know if that goes down, you're going to realize who you are. You'll come together. That's why I say flee right then when you see it about to happen. Can you add, subtract? And what can Farrakhan? Oh. We told darkness, God told me to be quiet. He put me to watchman. Can you believe that? No one's telling you this. No one's put it together. And you see it happen all around you. Everything I say. But they tell you, what they're going to tell you why they're doing this? Why they're going to send American troops against American citizens? Oh, it's crime now? Then they're going to keep military and all the police departments all come. How are they going to do that? No. It's a short term to get rid of you. That means they're going to time to go get rid of them. When you understand how that works, then you understand why false leaders do what they're doing. Because they won't need them anymore. They won't need them anymore once they get rid of us. And they want to get rid of them too. They was trying to get rid of them up to 1948 when Elijah Muhammad said, we just shoot Abraham. Oh no, we got, now we got to be brothers and sisters now. Because we need you to keep them niggas stupid, confused. So they set them up. Nobody was killing them a day before. Nobody gave a damn. False leader knows that. They're only being used. So what they know they know they've been used. They know the reason why they're being used. To keep us blind. When they see that they're about to take us out, they know that they're going to be taken out, but then they're going to let Iran loose on them. And they be taken out. They want to get rid of them too. So they know that. That's why they're doing what they're doing. They're trying to take over the Middle East right now, and they're trying to force America, because America know they got to keep them, so they force America to help them. What is America going to do? Because they need them. So they try to take advantage of the support that America gives them right now, because America got to support them as long as to keep us blind. So they try to take over the Middle East. That's why Kennedy didn't want to have nuclear weapons. They took over the Middle East. Now they got control of oil and nuclear weapons. Now they got the Christian on the knees, because you can't say we got nuclear weapons now too, and we got control of oil too. And Europe needs to control that oil. And if they were selling for $100 a day, $100 a barrel, we're gonna sell for $200 a barrel. What you gonna do? Now we got your ass. That's why they do what they're doing. They know they got a rush to get control of the Middle East, because if they take us out before they take them out, take us out first, then they're going to let them abandon them. So they know they got to get control before they take us out. That's what's really going on. That's the whole picture. It's a lot more to it than that, but that's bottom line. Move on, brothers and sisters. And nobody's telling you this. If you had the ability to think about it, things start falling into place. Everybody's saying, because people ask all these questions, they can't understand. Why they felt false Israel? It don't make any sense. Not helping. It is helping American policy. You have to understand American policy, because it don't make no sense. Why are they doing that? They're doing it genocide over there. Because they get public opinion, because they doing it there. The whole the world gets desensitized. And so when they start doing that, it's not a big deal. And this, because they got help over there. They got their family and everything over there. All those Arab nations, we had nobody. Plus, they got the media on board, so the media ain't nothing happen to those niggas over here, man. They riding. They riding. So Trump is sending troops to get them, put them in detention centers. He's causing the riot, because that's what everything he's doing right now is blaming black folks. He's blaming black folks. Now he's coming, he's going to get Obama. A lot of black folks get upset about that one. All he's doing is blaming black folks, put them in those detention centers, and get rid of your ass. And the media's going to say, wait, they're in detention centers, man. They didn't do because they was riding. Hang on, Farrakhan. One brown sisters. See here? Thus Thus the slain shall fall in the land of Chaldeans. Chaldeans is a biblical term for Caucasians. The land of Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. It's gonna be terrible over here. Because they're gonna have like one thing, because have mass problems gonna go make us move, come together. They're gonna get rid of some of them before they can get rid of us. Right? And see the great army. Right? And it's gonna be two armies. Because also demons gonna come together in the army too, but their idea is to stay here and fight, and I was get the hell out of here. That's no story. See, look at verse 6 here. Remember, now they tell God don't mean to get out, leave here. It means to get out of her words, get out of her religion, get out of her names. Oh, what's this say? What did God say? Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in iniquity. This time of the Lord's vengeance. He said, get the hell out. So if Ishmael called him God a lie right there, he said, no, you get the hell out. Right? To save yourself. Otherwise, it's easy. But see, the demons have no choice. They stick with that. And the rest of you stick with them, they stay there. Because when the time comes, you're not going to be able to run back over here. Babylon is suddenly. See, all this why stuff suddenly, because it's coming to your mother sudden, that energy wave that causes us to expand. In other words, if you're in an elevator, right, here you are, right? You're a man, right? And you got a lot of small women in the elevator, and that elevator's crowded. You're a man in the center, right? And all of a sudden you start stretching out, get some more room, right? Well, you want to crush the women because they ain't strong enough to repel you. Because now you take more room. That's what's happening. When they energize, we get more energy, so we're going to be more assertive. That's why they attack us. Every 50 years, there's a riot attack on us. And this is going to be the greatest one at all. Because now we're more energized, we're more assertive. We have no energy now to be united as a nation. The nation be born today. I must suddenly fall and destroy. However, her take bomb for her pains to be, if so be she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, let us go. Everyone, what do you mean healed? Because they told you, let my people go. They about to blow up. You don't read it. It says if you don't let, they're gonna be plagues and stuff. But the plagues, remember, it's coming from us. The plagues are our explosion. That's the nature of it. That's why I say, let them out. Remember, the plagues only came if they kept us here. That's what it's talking about right there. We'd have been healed, and we got the hell out of here. They let us go, but they didn't. They tried to hold on to us. So we blow up right in their face. You got a bomb in your house, you throw a damn bomb out the window. They told us, Pharaoh, let people go. Well, there's going to be plagues. See, you read it like, oh, don't let them go, so I'm going to start plaguing the place. No, it's their being here will cause the plagues. Plagues are caused by us. That's the nature of the consequence of what they've been doing the last 5 years. Right? And let us go and forsake her, let us go every man to his own country. That sounds like, oh, go to your own name, go to your own religion, own country. For judgment, reach out of heaven. Okay, Ishmael, what about that? God liar there? Because you say, we ain't going nowhere. You say, Farrakhan said we ain't going nowhere. It says clear, go to your own country. Not own state, country. Okay, look at this one. The Lord raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes with his vice against Babylon to destroy it. I want to see Babylon destroyed. I love Babylon. I thought you was the Son of Man. I thought you was the Messiah. So no, what you got? What do you call that? You schizophrenic? You got two ideas in the same mind? Well, his vice is to destroy it because it is the vengeance of the Lord, vengeance of his temple. What is vengeance? Consequence. What it did to us 5 years. But Pharaoh, that don't mean that, oh man, why would you want to save Babylon and they did all to us, our relatives? Because they didn't do it to your relatives. On your mother's side, maybe. But as far as your top people who you are, was doing it. You always wanted to help Babylon. Why? Because he's one of them. He's not seeing Abraham. He had no promise. Nothing to promise him. It's vengeance. Vengeance consequence. That means for what they did to us. Look down here. Thou that dwellest upon many waters, right? Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, abundant treasures. America's original country on the planet, right? That end is come. The measure of covenants. The Lord of hosts has sworn by himself, sworn that I will fill thee with men as with caterpillar, they shall sift out up a shout against thee. It means all the invaders and everything. This time next year, the Chinese will be roaming around America. America will be totally basket case if it still even exists this time this year. Okay, if I don't have notes, I'm not going to repeat. And I will render unto Babylon to all the house of Chaldea. Remember Chaldea? That's the, right? You're a Caucasian. That's the word Caucasian. Unto Babylon, America specifically, and to all the house of Chaldea. And all the evil they have done in Zion. All the Europeans all together. Specifically America. Right? They say Babylon. And it says, Lord, behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, says the Lord. Will destroy all the earth, and I will stretch out my hand against thee and roll thee up from the rocks and make thee a burnt mountain. Oh, but Farrakhan, I want to America. I want to make America good. It sound like he's the son of man? He talking to God? That sound like that? See, they don't want to read these scriptures. And the land tremble and sorrow for every purpose. The Lord shall be performed against Babylon. Everything, he's going to do everything again. Like I said, it's going to be unprecedented. He ain't going to say deserve nothing for it. To make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitants. This is totally to destroy it. Right? The mighty men of Babylon were born to fight. They have remained in their holes. They might have failed. They become as widows. They have burned their dwelling places. Their bars are broken. They're scared to death. All this, these what do they call them? They call them the Green Beret and SEALs and all that kind of shit. Right? Be afraid, scared to death. Like, I don't want to say women because try to put women down, but that's the point trying to make it. See? They might as fail. They have no strength. And they hide and they're scared to death. O post shall run to meet another, one messenger to meet another, throw the king of Babylon cities taking it one. In other words, this is going to happen suddenly. And all the reports Trump going to get before every time he pick up the phone, every time he's going to do this happened, that happened, that happened. Oh, this went down, that went down. We lost this, we lost these submarines, we lost the ships, right? The city about got bombed, got riots over here. Gonna go mad. That's what it's saying here. They was falling themselves, telling nothing but bad. Everything is falling apart. You can read all stuff at your leisure, brothers. I'm just giving you my point. How is Shishak and taken? How is the price of the whole earth surprised? How is Babylon come astonishment among native astonishment? Look what happened in America. Oh, wow. Right? Her cities are desolation, a dry land, a wilderness, a land where no man dwelleth, neither doth any son of man pass thereby. I mean, still, America be totally devastated, totally. And I will punish Bel and Babylon. I will bring forth out of his mouth that which has swollen up, and they shall not flow together any more unto him. Yea, the wall of Babylon shall fall. That means all the defenses shall be destroyed. The wall of Babylon shall, all the defenses. This is going to happen in the next few days, brothers and sisters. America, it's hard to even see America even be exist this time this year. I don't think it will be. Okay, it's a trigger. That's that trigger right here. That's that false sign that got up there that's keeping me from being united. Because they're telling you ham. You ain't see the Abraham. And that mass promise get ready to do this. Now you're going to see the true sign. And that's going to unite you. There's more I can say about that, but I can't say it right now, brothers and sisters. It's too close, and I can't tell them. But I can tell you one thing. People say, man, remember, this can't, no, I can't say that. Can't say that. Let me move on. Okay, let me speak this quickly, bro. So, see, mind crash. Okay. Because everything will be taken, they destroyed everything, and we're going to destroy everything. They tried to destroy everything about us. They did most of it, except our nature. They tried to do that with the demons. But we get ready to destroy their whole essence. See, their mind is about to be their mind's about to, they try to destroy our mind. We're going to destroy their mind. What's their mind? What's the drive the whole thing? It's so-called Christianity. The idea about Christianity. And it says, oh, do in the name of Jesus. So who is this Jesus? And they can't argue with this. They can't bring his story. I give $1,000. Bring his story and anything, tell me what I'm saying right here is wrong. Because if you listen to this right now, you know, it just destroyed everything you thought you believed in. If you listen to this, if you're talking about you believe in Jesus, now tell me I'm wrong. Watch this. Let me go ahead and play some of this.
Aramaic Bible in plain English. 1 And a certain man was sick, Lazar of the town of Bethany, the brother of Miriam and of Martha. 2 This Miriam was the one who had anointed the feet of Yeshua with ointment and wiped them with her hair, whose brother Lazar was sick. 3 And his 2 sisters sent to Yeshua, and they were saying, Our Lord, behold, he whom you love is sick. 4 Yeshua said, This sickness is not of death, but for the glory of God.
Okay, let me just speak to this and close, bro, because I've already got ready to explain this in detail. If you go to the manuscripts, the scriptures, so-called Old Testament, some people call it Torah, and so-called New Testament, we call it Gospel. Then you got the Quran. It was written in the Semitic languages, which is Hebrew, Aramaic, or Arabic, period. They wasn't written in English, wasn't written in Greek, wasn't written in French, Latin. It was written in those. That's the manuscripts. Now, I just showed you a translation of the manuscript directly. If you translate, you don't get the name Jesus there. You get the name Yeshua, which is Joshua. There's no name of Jesus in those manuscripts. None of them. So where did they get that name from? Because the name they give is Joshua. That's part of the trick right now, because who's Joshua? Where you go to the Old Testament, tell who Joshua is. Joshua said there'd be Elijah. Then it'd be Aaron that just turned the people around, destroyed everything. And then you have Joshua. He's the one, the Messiah, that's going to take us home. They don't want you to understand it that way, because that clearly identifies us, because we're the only one been in prison for 400 years or in a strange nation. So they can have you think it's, oh man, no, we can't have that. Because they know who Joshua is. So they change it. Because when you see in there, in so-called gospel, you see the name Jesus. Where they got the name from? His name is Joshua. Then go check it yourself. On the manuscript, there's no name Jesus nowhere. Because if you're Joshua, that might wake you up. Because hey, this Joshua's the one who take us home. And Aaron, that's Farrakhan. He's the one that's trying to deceive us and everything else. Joshua is the measure of the covenant. He's the one that's talking about going back home with Farrakhan said, we ain't going nowhere. So you might start thinking. So that's what he did. And then if you go, another thing is that when you go to the so-called Old Testament, right, the name Jesus Christ ain't there either. Neither Jesus nor Christ in any of those books. Then where if we go check, just ain't there. So where did they get that name from? So here's the
Aramaic Bible in plain English. 1 And after Moshe the servant of Lord Jehovah died, Lord Jehovah said to Yeshua son of Nun, Aramaic Bible in plain English. 1 And after Moshe the servant of Lord Jehovah died, Lord Jehovah said to Yeshua son of Nun, the minister of Moshe, to Moshe my servant has died, arise, cross this Jordan, you and all this people to the land that I give to them, the children of Israel. 3 Every place that the sole of your foot will tread in it, it shall be yours, as I said to Moshe. 4 From the wilderness and the mountain of this Lebanon and unto Euphrates the great river, and all the land of the Kittites and unto the great sea, the place of the setting of the sun, shall be your
See here, brothers and sisters? Joshua is the one that take us home. If we're the ones in 400 years over here, and we have been, we identify that. So they don't want you to know that. So, right, it says right there, that's what it says. If you look at the original text, manuscripts, Hebrew or Aramaic. So look here. So here it tells right here in the Bible, the name Yeshua, right, means, right, Joshua. So what do you name? Because Joshua would be the one messing the covenant, which Farrakhan never talks about. Plus, he don't talk about the reward of going home. See, all is connected. It tells you right here. Now, this is Google. You can Google it yourself, right? Remember, he was the one to succeed Moses. That means Aaron's left out of the picture here, because he didn't succeed Moses. He was against Moses. He didn't promote Moses. He had a golden calf and everything else. So it passed from Moses into Joshua, right past Aaron. Joshua will take you home. He just showed you that. So why don't they show it that way? When they translate it that way, that's what you would get. And then the Christ too. That's a Greek word. It's not in the Bible anywhere. The word Messiah is there, not Christ. So you got Joshua Messiah is in the Bible, in the manuscripts. Joshua Messiah, not Jesus the Messiah. So where does Jesus come from? Now here's the manuscripts, Hebrew, Aramaic. You translate it directly to the English, you're going to get Joshua the Messiah, directly. That's what you already get. That's what's in there. No, Jesus didn't mention anywhere. Not the old, new, gospel, Torah is not mentioned anywhere. The name Jesus is not mentioned anywhere. Christ is not mentioned anywhere. But Joshua Messiah is the name that's mentioned. That's what you would get. Take more info, go check it for yourself. But they got AI and stuff, maybe they can translate it for you. Go get the manuscripts. So what happened? Well, that's what they did. They translated the Greek first. Why would they do that? Then translate the English. Why would they do that? Doesn't make any sense, does it? Because they was trying to do something. They were trying to pull a game trick on you. If you translate directly, you're gonna get Joshua Messiah. That means he ain't somebody that's in heaven somewhere coming back here. It means somebody's right here, right now. Somebody had been a follower of Moses, right? Who took out Aaron, and now that person is the messenger of covenant that's taking you home. It's gonna take you home against everything Farrakhan's talking about. Right? Against everything Farrakhan, right? So by doing this, what happens? And then remember, now their god is named Zeus. The Greek god is Zeus. He's a supreme being, Zeus. Supreme being. That's a picture of him. Right? He doesn't exist, but that's the picture they drew of him. And now remember, the so-called Jesus Christ, they tell you that's the one that's in the Bible. They said, first of all, they give a scripture that says, he had woolly hair and dark skin, but the picture they give you is not that. You got dog hair and white skin. So that show you right there is a problem right there in itself. But it clearly says he had woolly hair and dark skin. See, that's deception of the eyes. Okay, so let's go on. You see here? Zeus. Now he's a Greek god, he's a supreme being, but he's a god of the skies. Now if you go in and look up, now there's no G-E-J-E in Greek, no prefix for it. They don't have J-E. That's why, and I'm not sure if Greek is considered a Latin language or not, but same thing in Spanish. Because if you got somebody, his name is spelled J-E-S-U-S, he says, my name is Jesus. You don't say Jesus to Jesus because he can't pronounce the J-E. But there's a G sound, which is like geophysics, geometry, geopolitics. Those are Greek words. And the GE in front is a prefix that donates it being part of the earth somehow, connect to the earth. Right? G, you put G in front of something, it means connect to earth somehow. Right? So that's how they got Jesus. But GE, because remember, Zeus, that top god, he's the father, right? Of the sky and the heavens. But his son had to be the god of the earth, which would be Jesus. Jesus. Now, if you came from Greece and you came to America, now you don't know English. You can't write English, right? So you can't write your name in English. You talk English person, they say, what's your name? Says, my name is Jesus. So they're gonna try to write it phonetically, right? Based on what they hear. They're gonna write Jesus. That's where they got it from. They made it up. It doesn't exist. That person don't exist. Jesus don't exist. Bullshit to keep you distracted so you don't see Joshua. Who benefits from Joshua? You do. You the Messiah. Joshua's become the Messiah for you. He's your Messiah. But they got to be in this mystery, Jesus, so you won't see them. So when Messiah come, you won't identify him. You won't see him because you're still looking for this Jesus, which don't exist. That's why I did. So you won't see Joshua when he shows up. The message of the covenant. And Farrakhan makes sure, because he don't never mention them. And we ain't going nowhere. It's all a conspiracy to keep you from seeing your salvation. Message of the covenant who will take you home. Healing his wings. That's where it comes from. Now tell him I'm lying. Sure. I'll know you show me I'm lying here. Every time I showed you is absolute truth. So why are they doing that? Because Jesus don't exist. They give you a picture right there. That doesn't even right in the picture what the Bible says. If you're going with the Bible, it don't exist. You got big cross right neck and everything. And plus, the bottom line is, if he did exist, he hates you because it was his followers that would beat you, torment you, doing the Holocaust and everything else, pissing your mouth and everything else. You understand, brothers and sisters? That's where it comes from. Made up. Once you understand this, you can easily prove it. That's the death knell of Christianity because it's a goddamn lie. It was there to deceive you, keep you from seeing your true Messiah, Joshua, the one that will succeed Moses, take you home. You see, this so-called Jesus, kingdom will be on the earth. Jesus. See? Uh-oh. What happened here? Oh, what happened here, boy? What did I do? What did I do here? Oh, boy. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to go into this, bro, since I'm leave it there. You understand? Mitchell's in heaven earth coming over sudden. So people that's on the edge, they might be enough energy to revive them. It depends on the person, how much revival, how much they revive. Everybody gets the same amount of energy. Right? How much healing they need would be enough. Keep them around for another 50 years. Get the next one. Complete the revival. Okay? But we know Farrakhan be revitalized enough to go to tribulation. He will not lead that locust war. Maybe a primary principal part of it. According to the scripture, it'd be some Christian minister. Demons. But he part of the demons. It says right there in Mark. It says, Legion says, please don't make me lead a country. He wanted to go over there with the swine. And then swine and them got to fighting off the cliff together. That's another way of saying it. We're going to understand, bro, so I'm leave it there. Assalamu alaikum. History of the cross. Known by their works. What's the history of the cross? 500-year history of the cross. Murder, rape, destruction, deception, enslavement, burning, terrorizing. To maintain a slavery system, you must terrorize the people 24/7. They terrorize people from Africa and America for 400 years. Constant terror, 24/7, rape, murder. In the name of Jesus. This was Christians, not Buddhists, not Hindus. Christians. Christians, in the name of Jesus, where they said Jesus cursed black people, they call them Ham, cursed them to be slaves and persecuted forever. In the name of Jesus, raped our women incessantly, pissed in our mouths, made us eat shit. And they took and tried to clean up, not clean it up, but make it look more fashionable, I guess, by calling it chitlins. That's after slavery, of course, after so-called slavery. Because what was into it was not slavery. Look up slavery. Look up slavery. It does include murder, rape, terror. This is a Holocaust. And then now they try to downplay it. Oh, that was 400 years ago. No, it wasn't 400 years ago. I don't care if it was a million years ago. It was 400 years ago. It lasts for 400 years. As they're doing today. They took everything away from the slaves. Everything. Their name, their culture, their families, their religion, their minds, everything. Fed their children to alligators as alligator bait. And then they talk about what's going on in Gaza when they did 1,000 times worse. What's going over in Gaza now is simply just a miniature version of what they did. What they did was far worse than what's going on in Gaza. Gaza's bad. It's genocide. What they did was far worse and much longer. That's the legacy of Christianity. Murder, rape, disease. They wiped out the native population with genocide and disease. Smallpox blankets, knowing they was full with disease. Herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea from sleep with animals. So-called common cold was not common. Didn't exist here on this side of the world until they brought it here. Murder, rape. When they was raping our women, they had a cross hanging from their neck. And again, they taught black, and this was God's will. God's will. The enslavement of our people. And they continue on even today. That's the legacy of Christianity, the cross. So where's your rap sheet? Every time they arrest one of our people, your rap sheet, what's your rap sheet? How are you going to judge people for murder when you're guilty of murder beyond imagination for hundreds of years? Hundreds of years. Theft. You stole this land and murdered its people. And you crushed the native people here When the braves would go out hunting, you would come into the camps like cowards and kill the women and smash the children's brains out on the hooves of your horses. This is the legacy of Christianity. That's the legacy of it. The question is, if instead of Columbus coming here, Dracula came here, Beelzebub, Wolfman, Frankenstein, Satan, and they all came instead of Columbus, what could they have done that Columbus and those that followed him did? Satan is the God of this world. That's the God they serve. They have known him by their works. What are the works of Christianity? What are the works of Christianity? Where's the works of Christianity? Evil, deception, mischief, bloodshedding. It goes on today. And what's going on in Gaza, just reflection and microcosm of what was done here in America for hundreds of years. Raped out women incessantly. They would even rape while they was out in the fields picking cotton. They would jump off their horse and tell them to bend over and rape them. And tell them to keep picking cotton while they was doing it. This is the kind of stuff that they would do. Make one slave defecate in the slave and slave in the mouth of another slave, and then bound it up so he couldn't spit it out for 7 days. That's a legacy of slavery. You did it all in the name of Jesus. There's a legacy of slavery. Legacy of slavery. 40 years plus. Legacy of Christianity. Legacy of the cross. That's the legacy. That's the true legacy. So whose works are those? Who are you serving? Who are you serving? The legacy of the cross. Where's your rap sheet, America? Gog? Where's your rap sheet, Magog? Britain? Where's your maidship? Where's your rap sheet? Antichrist, false Israel? Where's your rap sheet? Then they colonized Africa. They're stealing for ripping off everyone. That's the legacy of Christianity. They've been ruling for over 500 years. And now, the threat of nuclear war to finish off everything. That's a legacy of Christianity in the name of your Jesus.
Surely you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Surely you ain't talking about that, are you? No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. This is your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their ways. Come out of their pagan holidays where you should be honoring Jesus. You are out here buying bunny rabbits and inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter hunt. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus out of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. What the heck is that? Excuse me. Come out of her name. Come out of her religion. Come out of her culture. Come out of her way of life. Come out of her educational system.
Put it back to their people. When they was put off on the shores of North America. And this ship, Jesus, that John Hawkins brought our past hero. They stood and stared at it disappearing in the horizon, crying, wanting to return. With their hands stretched out towards that ship and tied in chains themselves bound together. And when they was put off on this memorable shows, they stood there staring at that ship that brought them to a strange land and a strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country and a strange people who had proven to them every mile from their native land that they were going to be the worst enemies that they ever lived with. They were going to be the people that would destroy them. They soon discovered that on this ship that they were being brought here on. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us when this ship was named Jesus. This is how that we have always been deceived by the white man, trying to use Jesus, the name Jesus, to lull us off in a mental sleep, thinking that we are on our way to heaven. This is terrible. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing crying to return to their native land and people, and you here today crying to stay with the very enemy that brought our fathers in subjection to their will. You are now turning your face from your own native land and turning it back towards our own prison house and our own enemies who have destroyed us and seeks to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They are trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. How do you feel? Acting such. And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There is no justice here for you and me. Why should not you want to be separated and be returned to your own? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their own 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own, build up a nation for yourself after the white man say you are free. Remember that.
you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Surely you ain't talking about that, are you? No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. This is your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their ways. Come out of their pagan holidays where you should be honoring Jesus. You are out here buying bunny rabbits and inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter hunt. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus out of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. What the heck is that? Excuse me. Come out of her name. Come out of her religion. Come out of her culture. Come out of her way of life. Come out of her educational system.
Put it back to their people. When they was put off on the shores of North America. And this ship, Jesus, that John Hawkins brought our best hero. They stood and stared at it disappearing in the horizon, crying, wanting to return. With their hands stretched out towards that ship and tied in chains themselves bound together. And when they was put off on this memorable shows, they stood there staring at that ship that brought them to a strange land and a strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country and a strange people who had proven to them every mile from their native land that they were going to be the worst enemies that they ever lived with. They were going to be the people that would destroy them. They soon discovered that on this ship that they were being brought here on. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us when this ship was named Jesus. This is how that we have always been deceived by the white man, trying to use Jesus, the name Jesus, to lull us off in a mental sleep, thinking that we are on our way to heaven. This is terrible. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing crying to return to their native land and people, and you here today crying to stay with the very enemy that brought our fathers in subjection to their will. You are now turning your face from your own native land and turning it back towards our own prison house and our own enemies who have destroyed us and seeks to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They are trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. How do you feel acting such? And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There is no justice here for you and me. Why should not you want to be separated and be returned to your home? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their home 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own, build up a nation for yourself after the white man say you are free. Remember that.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulman Rahim here, Messenger of the Covenant. Okay, brothers and sisters, it's been a year now, and with finally home after 40 years in Arabia. I'm reporting to you from Arabia. Finally home after 40 years. Right? And so we've been here a year now. When there was an agreement made, a former slave master, he said, we had a choice. Stay here or leave. Right? So we chose our inheritance, Arabia. So we left. And half the original people decided they wanted to give up their inheritance and trade it for a place in America in reconciliation with their former slave master. That's their choice. They chose, said, we don't want to go over to Arabia. We don't go to where it's sand and all that stuff. We want to stay in America. We've been here all our lives, been here 40 years, born here, right? And we can make peace with our slave master. Okay, so they decided to stay. And so after a year, right, we get reports of how things are going over there, and it doesn't sound too good. How things are going over in America with their reparations, because they was given they got 6 states, I believe. Yeah, see, yeah, they got those 6 states right there. That's what Farrakhan told them. They was listening to Farrakhan. Farrakhan promised them. They stay there, 6 states, right? Had their own land, and they can make reconciliation with former slave masters. They're not devils. They're not devils. They're human beings. They just had a rough, they were just, did some things wrong, but now they're gonna make amends and make reparations. So 6 states, and in addition to that, they gave everybody $1 million. Everybody stayed $1 million. Okay? Say, thank you, Farrakhan. They're so happy. Thank you, Farrakhan. Thank you, Farrakhan. Man, you got 6 states. That's what you promised us. We got 6 states. They're thanking you. Thank you, Farrakhan. Right? And this was a year ago. They got the 6 states. Thank you, Farrakhan. Right? Everybody got $1 million. Everybody $1 million. And they're rejoicing. Oh man, they're so happy. Hey, we came, man. We made it. We got America, man. We got reconciliation for a master. We got 6 states. Everybody got $1 million. We're all rich. That was a year ago when we left. So we're in Arabia. They're still back there in America. And now we're getting reports a year later. This was the way it was a year ago, man. They were so happy. They were so happy. Right? And now we get reports of what's going on right now. Let's see. Oops, it says a power failure. Great power failure in those 6 states. Power failure. And just those 6 states. Right? So, and now they had a big and massive, they came asking to turn the power. Well, why can't they do it? Oh, Farrakhan didn't train anybody. He was telling you about 6 states, but he never prepared you for them. So nobody knows how to do it. How to turn the power grid back on. So now he's begging, man, master, can you come and turn this thing back on for us? I mean, you would think that if he told him 6 states to promise him that he would have prepared him for it, right? Their schools and education, whatever they needed for that. But I guess they didn't, because they said over there now he's begging the former master to come and turn the power back on. And then what? I mean, this is all that's happening now. I mean, I'm getting these imports in now. A year later, it's like they're coming in every hour. Power grid failure, right? Then say, oops, crop failure. All of a sudden, there's no. They say, they looked at the farmers. When they doing the farmers said, oh. So then they had master, what's happening here? How come no? Right? Our crop. They found that the land they gave them wasn't that fertile. A year later, nothing's growing. Crop failure. And now they master, what's happening here? Right? And then, I mean, all these things, every hour that's coming in, right? And then they look, and they had, a year ago they had plenty of food on the shelves, right? And now, they look there now and all the food's gone. It's gone. She said, what am I going to do here? Food's gone. The house is empty. So he said, Master, we need some food. Well, how come you can't produce your own food? I mean, you want your own country. You got your own states. That's your country. Then you run it. What are you calling us for? Right? And so they'll be praying. And then, oops, no fuel. There's Master, no fuel there. Well, you got to buy your fuel. You got to produce your own fuel. What you calling us for? You got your own 6 states now. What you calling us for? Go and get some fuel. You got money, right? You got your own states. So you got to get your own. What you calling us for? You said you wanted your own, so now you got it. And you got your reparations, so we don't owe you anything anymore. We don't owe you anything anymore, so what you calling us for? We don't owe you anything. You said you agreed to 6 states and $1 million per person. You took that instead of your inheritance, what you call the Abrahamic covenant, Arabia. Your brothers and sisters, they left. They took that was offered to them. They took it, and you said no. I want this instead. So now you got it. So what you calling us for? Oh, no communications. Oh man. No communications, right? No medical facilities. So what's going on, Master? Wait a minute, hold on. That's you. What you calling us for? That's yours. You gotta handle that stuff. You want us to handle it for you? You want independence, now you have it. I mean, wow, this stuff was coming every hour, man. Instead of like a year, they was celebrating. And now they crying and begging the Master, hey, we got all these problems here. I said, wait a minute, that's yours. Where'd you come about your problems? You have to work those out. Right? No transportation, I mean, no planes, no nowhere. We don't know about fly the planes and drive the trucks and the boats and stuff and to go and get this stuff. Well, what you done that for? You wanted this, you got it. So go ahead and get to train your own pilots, build your own planes, build your own boats and right? You see what I'm saying? Transportation, build your own trucks. What you calling for? Yeah, Master, we see this. You said you wanted 6 states, you got it. You want $1 million per person. That was the reparations. So now if you didn't pay people to take care of this, how's that our problem? You're independent now. You're really free now. Oops, no fuel, the gas station's empty. I can't drive, man. And no gas. Man, wow. All this stuff happened like for a year. They thought that everything was great, and all of a sudden everything ran out. So guess what happened? Everything was there when they got it, and then it ran out. They had to, for them to replace the fuel, to get the farms going. So they was left with that stuff. the factory was full. I mean, warehouses full. Then you had to keep. They thought that was just going. I guess they thought it was just going to be there, just by itself. They didn't prepare for it. See, and they ain't trained any engineers and scientists and architects and stuff. They business. They didn't train anybody. So Farrakhan, he told you he's going to get this for you, but he didn't prepare you for it. He didn't get anybody to handle this stuff. So what was that all about? So now he asked the master, hey, don't call on me. You was here, you had it when you was here with me. You said you want independence, you wanted reparations, so you gave it to you. Well, call on your brothers over there. They left, they handled their own business. You said you want to stay here. Right? Okay. Don't have any professionals or technicians, scientists, doctors, none of that. See? I mean, that's what, because I mean, if you're going to set reparation, you should be preparing for that, right? So if he was telling you about reparation, you should be preparing for it. If he said, God said that's where you're going to get you, so if God told him he's going to get that for you, then he should, like when God told Noah there was a flood coming, to only build an ark, so he started building an ark. And so you should start preparing for the 6 states and the reparations, but apparently you didn't. And so now, he tells you, look, hold it. We want total separation. I mean, look, we don't want you to call us no more. We don't want you to call us no more. Because you're wearing us. You want your own country. You got your own land. Right? You got money, $1 million, all this stuff, right? And so now we got to protect your money and everything too? No, you have to really create your own money. You have to do all these things, your own wealth, not ours. Right? So we're going to cut you off from that too. That's all economics. So they go and they tell all the people all the white folks, right? Because all the black folks, now all the black folks is either in Arabia or in those 6 states. That's the solution. You had to be one way or the other. There couldn't be no integration, that kind of stuff. That's the deal. You just said one or the other. So all the black folks are there, ain't no integration, that kind of stuff, right? Black folks are there, one or the other, so they're there. So he said, okay, right? So they just say, we're going to take that money because we don't know what y'all doing over there. You have your own money, you have your own wealth. So what they do is they tell all the white folks, say, protect your money, right? Transfer your money into gold. Transfer all your dollars into gold. Okay. Now remember, they gave everybody $1 million a piece. So everybody got $1 million a piece, right? And so they transfer it to gold. And then what happens is that what they do is they start just printing money. White folks just start printing money. You understand what that means? That's inflation, right? Because if you got $1 million of gold, a million ounces of gold, say 1 million ounces of gold, understand this, and you got 1 million certificates, then you say each certificate is worth 1 ounce. If you got 1 million ounces, your certificate is worth 1 ounce. Understand that? If you got 1 million ounces of gold, and you got 1 million certificates, each one of those certificates is worth 1 million. If you want to say trade with the certificates, each one of the certificates is worth 1 ounce of gold, right? But if you take and print, you say you got 1 million ounces of gold, and you got 1 million certificates, each one. But say you print twice as many certificates, you got 2 million. Well, then each certificate is only worth 50 cents now, because you got to connect that to the gold. Well, you print 4 times, then each one is worth a quarter. So the more you print, the less they worth, because those certificates have to equal what the gold is. You understand? So the more you print money, the less, right? The less they're worth. So if you print twice as much money, right, there's less gold. You understand? So $1 is worth 1 ounce of gold, which that's right. Then if you print double that amount of dollars, then each one's worth half an ounce. You understand? That's what printing money without increasing the wealth does. That's inflation. So what happens is they keep printing. They get down to where $100 is worth a penny. But see, that doesn't affect their people. They told to protect their money because they transfer their money to gold. So gold still has its value. It's just the dollars don't. It still got the same amount of gold. But the dollars, they get down to a penny. So you can't buy it. You had $1 million, now your $1 million worth of $5. That's all it's worth. $1. Hardly worth anything. Hey, that's our money. You gotta have your own money, you control your own wealth. You can't keep coming at us what you're doing. And you think they wouldn't do that? Yeah, you've been a Gaza lately? You see what happened to the trees they made with the so-called natives? Kept telling me you had a forked tongue because they kept making trees with them, then they broke the trees. And took their land and genocide and everything else. But no, they wouldn't do that to you. See? Because now you have, your money's worth nothing. They haven't lost anything. Because once that money's worthless, it's no good, right? Then you bury it up, throw it away, it's worth nothing. The people still got gold. And even if they take it, hold on the money, hope to increase again, they just use another different certificate, use another form of money. So it's still worth nothing. That $1 million you had, you're so happy with now, it's probably worth maybe $1. So you can't buy anything with $1. Plus the economy's collapse because everything is failing, and you don't know how to repair it. You don't know how to get those communications. You don't know how to do any of this stuff. You're not an engineer, build a house, you don't know how to do anything because Farrakhan didn't. Right? He didn't prepare you. He told you he'll give you 6 days. He told you, listen to me, right? So now you're broke, and your economy is gone. You have no food, no electricity, no power, anything, right? It's not their fault. They gave you what you asked for. You saw at your inheritance for that. And then they closed the border. Because you're going to try to get back into America now. We want to come back in, Master. No, we don't want you back in here. We sorry, we want to come in. No. That's what you chose. You stay there. They closed the border, so you can't get back in here. You can't get back in America, into what you could call your land now? Swaziland or something? Farrakhan. Maybe call it travel land. Farrakhan. They met the Farrakhan, right? So they close the borders, you can't. Because now you're hungry and everything else, your money's worthless. Oh God, come back, Master, I'll come back work for you, I'll work for Popeyes, I'll do anything you want. No, remember, now blacks, either they over in Arabia or they in that land. There are no blacks in America, any places, just in that land that you 6 days. And now you're starving, you ain't got your money's worthless, nothing works, and they close the border. Right? And then you see Master, you on the phone, you talking to the guy that you kept treating, help you. Hey, we finally got rid of niggas. Finally got rid of them. See, on the phone. Yeah, it worked. We sold them no reparations. We sold them that used car. They turned the miles back and everything else, and they bought it. See? They could have had a BMW. They could have had a Lamborghini. They sold it for a BMW that looked good. Damn thing didn't work. And now they're starving, living in tents. Praying. So what? Then what next? What we gonna do, Farrakhan? You told us to take reparations, so we did. But they gave us everything we asked for. What we gonna do, Farrakhan? What we gonna do? Pray. That's his answer. Pray. That's your reparations. Like Elijah Muhammad said, he had a big picture. We leaving, and blacks staying on the shore, the ones stay behind, and they was whooping their ass. Right? Because they thought you think they were going to give you some land and take care of you? You think they were going to do that? And go bankrupt, give everybody $1 million? How much that is? If it's 17 million, that's 17 million times 17 million times a million is like $17 trillion, I think, something like that there. Then they're gonna do all that for you. They want to get rid of you. So now they have succeeded. Because they closed the border. And what you gonna do? You gonna fight to come out? They closed the border. They got the military around there. They finally got rid of you. No more black problem, no more Negro problem anymore. One group's out of here, another group that's here. They're gone, and our hands are clean. We gave them what they wanted. Well, anything. Okay. God honors contracts. Remember, he honored the contract with Jacob. Esau sold his birthright for a bowl of soup to Jacob, which was Esau's inheritance, and God honored it. Okay, Jacob, it's yours. You're the one. And that's the deal. Because he ain't your friend. Farrakhan ain't your friend. Pray, pray, pray. That's the answer. And this homeland you was promised, you rejected it. So now you got what you asked for. So if they gave you reparations today or tomorrow, how would that scenario not play out like that? Well, they say, okay, you got it. Tell me how the scenario wouldn't play out like that. And tell me why they wouldn't do it. They love you so much, they're going to say, okay, we're going to take care of them. I mean, why should they go out their way to take care of you when you was right here? You was working at Popeyes and living in the get up on Section 8, all that stuff right here. Because they're trying to get rid of that stuff right now. Trump's trying to get rid of all that stuff right now. Because they're closing on you don't realize it. Anyway, that's just, that's what's happening over in America. Wow. Boys, come here. Disaster over there. And I just got a call. Oh, wait, hold on. Really? You serious? Our ambassador just got a call from I don't know what they call them. They call it Conland or something. I forgot what it's something to call it right there. That 6th day. They're begging us to come and help. Can they come over here? Can we come and get them? Really? Can we come and get them and bring them? Oh no. Now he went and asked Master Farrakhan Muhammad, right? He said, no, hell no. We ain't going to get them. And I agree with that. Yeah, the Master said he said, let's call him, and he passed the word to Master Farrakhan Muhammad. Master Farrakhan said, send him back. Master, no, we can't come and get you. You made your choice, live with it. Or die, whatever the situation is. Wow. I can't believe that. They actually, right, sent a message over. I don't know how they did. I don't have any communication with it. Somehow they got the information over to them. Said, would we please come and get them? Nope. Said, no, tell them no. And don't waste time communicating with us anymore. You got your land. You got your reparations. You got your money. You got Farrakhan as your leader. Yeah, tell him. Talk to him. Let him straighten out for you. He didn't want to sell you the idea. He was a salesman. So you on that idea of reparations. We told you. Right? Suleiman, right? He was the messenger to you, telling you, look, man, let's go home. You said no. You chose not to. Okay, brothers and sisters, that's a sad story. But I guess that's it. Is that it? Oh, they're not getting more reports on Okay, he says that was Master Prophet Muhammad's final decision, and I think they closed communications off from there. So, like I said, brothers and sisters, we got those. Wow, they came in. All that came in today, man. Came in fast. After a whole year, total collapse. Now they begging it. Somebody help them. We can't do it. Maybe Master help you. We won't do it. Assalamu alaikum. Update, brothers and sisters, got another late report in that they said, well, if you want to come and get us, well, we at least send them some food. They begged, said, please send us some food. Master Muhammad said, no, we got to send them a damn thing, nothing, zero. He said, please just send some food. No, I just got that in. He says, if you can't come and get us, please send us some food. He says, no, he refused. That's the report. I just got the information from the ambassador. He said, they sent that, and he's read to me. He says, no. He said, please, just please send us some food. He said, no, no way. You made your choice, case closed. Okay, just got that in, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.